Success has never been reserved for the fortunate few. And that idea survives only because it excuses you from learning how life actually works. You have seen average people with average beginnings and average resources build extraordinary lives. Not by accident and not by privilege, but by understanding and honoring process. The myth says success is gifted. The truth says success is grown. You arrive carrying more than you realize. Ability is present, opportunity is present, time is present. What has been missing is instruction, not motivation, not confidence, instruction. The laws were never explained to you, so effort feels random and results feel unfair. That confusion produces a quiet kind of frustration. You apply honest work, you endure long days, you make sacrifices. Still, nothing seems to change. When your effort does not translate into evidence, you begin to question yourself instead of the method. That doubt slowly erodes belief. Not because your belief is weak, but because understanding has been absent. Life is not hostile to you. Life is precise. It responds to causes with exactness and keeps perfect records. Nothing is lost. Nothing is ignored. Results do not show favoritism. They show obedience. The seed explains this better than any theory ever could. It is not inspiration for you. It is instruction. It removes emotion from the equation and replaces it with order. A seed does not care how badly you want the harvest, and it responds only to placement, care, and time. Your potential operates under the same authority. You fail early when you expect reward before roots. You demand proof before patience has been invested. You dig up progress to see if it is working and destroy it in the process. Then you conclude growth is unreliable and move on to the next attempt. Nothing was wrong with the seed. Nothing was wrong with the soil. Timing was violated. Once you understand this, anxiety begins to loosen its grip. Urgency softens. Desperation fades. You stop asking whether success is possible and start asking whether the process is being honored. That shift changes everything. Your effort gains direction. Your time gains value. Your discipline gains meaning. The future stops feeling mysterious because it is no longer being guessed at. It is being grown. Success is rarely dramatic for you. It is orderly. It unfolds quietly, while most people are busy demanding immediate proof. If you stay, if you remain planted long enough, you eventually stand in fields others insist appeared overnight. That is how it begins. Yet you may live under a constant, unnamed pressure. Ambition pulls you forward with real force, but clarity never quite settles. Desire stays alive while direction keeps shifting. You apply effort faithfully, sometimes desperately, and still nothing shows on the surface. That tension is not a sign of weakness in you. It comes from misunderstanding how progress actually forms. When results lag behind effort, your mind fills the silence with the wrong conclusions. You assume you are behind. You assume something is wrong with you. You assume others have some advantage you cannot name. None of that is true. The delay is not evidence of failure. It is evidence of sequence. The seed settles this for you immediately. It explains why your work can be correct and still appear unrewarded. It explains why the early stages of anything meaningful feel empty and thankless. It explains why so many people quit at the exact moment progress is assembling out of sight, including times when you may have felt tempted to do the same. You judge success far too early when you measure outcomes before the process has permission to finish. You expect visible movement before invisible structure has been completed. When nothing appears, you conclude nothing is happening. Something is always happening. Roots form in silence. Strength develops underground. Stability is built where applause cannot reach. Nature has never apologized for this order. It simply proceeds. You may abandon the field for a different reason as well. You may never truly decide what you are planting. Your effort scatters. Your direction shifts weakly. Your energy dilutes across too many intentions. A seed placed without commitment carries no obligation to grow. Depth requires loyalty. The seed metaphor removes fantasy from your thinking and replaces it with law. Growth is not random for you. It is governed. It follows rules that do not bend for emotion or hurry for urgency. First the unseen work, then the visible reward, always in that order. When you misunderstand this, resentment grows. You see others harvesting and call it luck. You ignore the seasons that came before their harvest. You envy outcomes while dismissing patience as unnecessary. When you understand this, you grow calm. You stop demanding immediate feedback. You stop interpreting silence as rejection. You respect the interval between cause and effect and continue the work without drama. As this understanding settles in, confusion begins to lift. The pressure eases. Your effort regains dignity because it no longer needs to perform for proof. You trust progress, even when it cannot yet be displayed. That trust changes how you behave. Your decisions become steadier. Your commitment deepens. You continue working long after others quit, not because your enthusiasm is higher, but because your understanding is firmer. Success stops feeling accidental to you and begins to feel inevitable, not because outcomes are guaranteed, but because the laws are finally being respected. That is the quiet power of the seed, properly understood. Planting is the moment confusion ends for you. Until a decision is made, there is motion without direction. Once you decide, scattered energy gathers, and your effort stops wandering and starts working together. Hope does not plant seeds for you. Decision does. You may live on the edge of intention. You talk about what you would like. You speak in flexible language and adjustable outcomes. The soil does not respond to your preference. It responds to precision. You must choose a seed, one field, one season. Clarity is not restrictive for you. It is liberating. It removes noise. It simplifies effort. It gives your behavior a destination. Vision is not imagination for you. Vision is definition. It is your ability to state an outcome clearly before there is evidence, and then allow that outcome to organize your daily behavior. Without definition, your discipline weakens. With definition, discipline becomes natural. A clear outcome acts like a compass for you. It filters decisions quietly. It eliminates debate at moments of pressure. When fatigue arrives, clarity answers before emotion has a chance to vote. Goals that exist only for your comfort collapse quickly. The first inconvenience exposes them. Goals tied to your identity endure strain. When direction connects to your values, resistance becomes part of the process instead of a reason to stop. Planting requires exclusion from you. Saying yes to one direction requires saying no to others. When your attention scatters across too many objectives, progress stays shallow everywhere. Depth comes from loyalty to a single aim long enough for roots to form. You hesitate here because commitment feels heavy. You want options. You want flexibility. You want an exit if things become uncomfortable. The soil does not reward escape routes. It rewards focus. Once the seed is placed, doubt loses its authority over you. The decision has already been made. Your energy stops arguing with itself. It goes to work. Clear vision changes your posture. It changes your tone. It changes how you defend your time and how you recognize opportunity. You stop drifting and start moving with intent. Planting marks the point where you accept responsibility fully. From that moment forward, results are no longer mysterious to you. They are simply pending. Your future starts to take shape the moment you choose direction. Not because the result is certain, but because the process is finally allowed to work. That is the power of vision joined with decision. Once the seed is in the ground, your attention has to move from ambition to maintenance. The excitement of deciding fades quickly. What remains is routine. Growth does not answer your intensity. It answers consistency, applied quietly over time. You may overestimate the power of dramatic effort and underestimate the quiet force of daily habits. You look for breakthroughs and ignore structure. You chase motivation and neglect environment. Nature has never rewarded enthusiasm, it rewards rhythm. The soil is tended daily by you, not heroically, faithfully. Water arrives on schedule. Weeds are removed before they spread. Boundaries are maintained even when nothing visible seems to justify the effort. This is the phase most people abandon because it lacks drama and where you must remain. Your daily habits are not about outcomes. They are about conditions. They design an environment where progress becomes the default instead of a struggle. When the environment is right, growth continues, whether your enthusiasm shows up or not. Resistance appears in every cycle you face: fatigue, distraction, interruption. These are not signals for you to stop. They are normal features of growth. Every field experiences weather. When you understand seasons, you stay steady. Routine carries your progress through uncertainty. It preserves momentum when emotion fluctuates. Discipline does not demand perfection from you. It demands return. Missed days do not ruin the crop. Quitting does. You often mistake discomfort for danger. Growth always stretches your capacity before it strengthens it. Soil must be broken before it can support life. Muscles ache before they perform. Pressure precedes expansion. Small actions you repeat daily accumulate quietly. No applause, no announcement. Just compound effect assembling strength below the surface. The seed responds to your rhythm, not your excitement. Your habits are humble. They do not look impressive in the moment. Over time, they become formidable. What appears insignificant to you on a single day becomes unstoppable across years. When your days are structured intentionally, progress becomes automatic. When your days are left to chance, effort leaks into distraction. Success is rarely lost in a single decision you make. It is lost in neglected routines. The soil does not care about your intention once planting is complete. It responds only to care. Consistent days accelerate your growth. Inconsistent days slow it. Those who succeed over the long term are rarely the most intense. They are the most faithful, and that can be you. You tend what cannot yet be seen. You remain when results are silent. That is how momentum survives long enough to matter. And when results finally arrive for you, they rarely announce themselves. Harvest does not come with noise or ceremony. It appears quietly, almost modestly, catching off guard those who expected a parade. You may imagine success as a moment. In truth, it is a condition. The first signs are subtle for you. Decisions take less effort. Confusion loses its grip. Problems that once created anxiety now invite solutions. You notice options where none existed before. Not because the world changed, but because your perception sharpened. Momentum begins for you long before recognition. It builds invisibly, one correct action reinforcing the next. Small wins accumulate. Confidence increases without bravado. Capacity expands without announcement. This is the stage where many fail to notice they are succeeding because it feels natural. That naturalness is the proof. Your effort becomes efficient. What once required force now requires form. You use time with intention. Your energy is conserved and applied where it matters most. Your standards rise quietly. Your tolerance for disorder fades. Excellence stops feeling demanding and starts feeling necessary. Your success compounds because your behavior simplifies. You debate fewer decisions. You entertain fewer distractions. Discipline removes friction. Experience shortens your response time. You move with calm certainty, not urgency. The harvest validates the process for you, not the ego. It confirms that your patience was not weakness, and your consistency was not foolish. The reward is not applause. The reward is leverage. Leverage shows up as choice for you. Choice in how you spend your time. Choice in which opportunities you accept. Choice in which problems deserve your attention. Your freedom grows in proportion to the discipline you have already applied. When you misunderstand harvest, you chase recognition. You announce progress prematurely. You seek validation instead of momentum. When you understand harvest, you protect what you have built. You reinvest quietly. You refine standards. You raise expectations without noise. Your confidence changes your posture. It alters your tone. You make agreements with clarity. You uphold boundaries without explanation. Your authority increases without volume. Your influence grows without persuasion. At this stage, your success no longer feels fragile. It is rooted. Storms arrive and pass. Pressure tests the structure and moves on. What remains has earned its place. Others begin to call it luck. They overlook the seasons of silence that made this stage possible. They notice only the visible strength and ignore the invisible foundation. You know the truth, and you keep working. Momentum feeds itself now for you. Progress encourages patience. Patience protects progress. Each completed cycle strengthens the next. Your work becomes cleaner. Your results become steadier. The harvest phase reveals a final lesson to you. When success is grown the right way, it feels inevitable in hindsight. There's no shock and no disbelief, only the recognition that this is what happens when the laws are respected. That is the quiet reward of staying long enough for the field to speak. In time, your harvest grows beyond your personal need. When that happens, the meaning of your work changes. Achievement matures into responsibility. Success that ends with you is incomplete. Growth that remains private is unfinished. Legacy is not created by your intention. It is created by overflow. When you tend a field properly for long enough, it produces more than you can consume. That surplus becomes influence, not through persuasion, but through evidence. People study your results long before they accept your advice. They watch your behavior before they listen to your words. Standards you live consistently speak louder than principles you explain passionately. Legacy begins for you when personal discipline becomes visible example, when your habits remain steady under pressure, when your decisions stay aligned even when no one is watching. Others notice the order. They feel the stability. They recognize something dependable at work. Your influence grows naturally from credibility. Credibility is earned through repetition. Repetition proves character. Character outlives circumstance. What you pass on is not success itself. It is method. It is patience. It is respect for sequence and law. Titles fade. Possessions disappear. Process remains. Ideas endure when you demonstrate them, not when you defend them. Systems survive when they are simple enough for others to repeat and strong enough to withstand pressure. Legacy is not built by force. It is cultivated through consistency. Your personal growth becomes shared value when your behavior sets a standard others can follow. Standards become contagious when you uphold them quietly and without compromise. People rise to what you model more often than to what you demand. Legacy is planted the same way success is planted for you. One decision at a time, one habit reinforced, one example sustained through fatigue, distraction, and doubt. There's no shortcut at this stage. The same laws still apply. You do not control outcomes. Conditions change, weather shifts, markets move, Opinions rise and fall. None of that alters your responsibility. What remains constant is choice. Your choice determines what you plan. Your choice determines what you protect. Your choice determines whether you continue the work when enthusiasm fades and recognition is absent. The starting point for you is never dramatic. It is always now. The present moment is the only season available for planting anything that matters. When you understand this, you do not wait for permission. You act with calm urgency. You trust the process because you respect the law behind it. You continue long after novelty fades and attention moves elsewhere. Over time, the field begins to speak for you. Results stand quietly without explanation. Others draw conclusions without being instructed. That is influence at its highest level. And long after you step away, something useful continues to operate. Habits remain, standards persist, systems endure. The work keeps producing value without supervision. That is legacy properly cultivated by you. Not remembered by name, but felt through effect. Not announced, but undeniable. Grown patiently, lived consistently, and left behind intact. That is how your success earns the right to outlive you.